you do realize that video killed the radio star. Anyway, I have this Hickory short bow, horse bow, that I am about to steam bend into a gull wing. And I've got the center form here. I actually, they all have the center line, center handle on there. And I'm gonna steam it for quite a while. I'm gonna do it a half an hour because this is hickory and it can be pretty tricky. And along the way, I can tighten these clamps because it's already in the form. Once I get the center done, reflexing the handle, I'm gonna use my spiffy new, it looks like it's steaming, I'm ready to put it on there, spiffy new limb deflexing forms. Now these are not symmetrical. Let's put it like this. You can see they match up. And then let's put it like this. And you see they don't match up. There's a little bit more bend on this side. And so I can either have them, depending if I want to have more bend in tips, like this or like this. And having three of them means that I can just leave them on the forms to stew and think about what they're doing for a while because I've got 3 sets of these things. But put them on the stew. I'm going to turn the fire down a little bit. Steam bending 101. Part 1, put it over steamy stuff. Part 2, cover with foil. And I've got a pair of gloves on the ground. I should really do that, but I can do this without burning my fingers. Oh, I might as well throw this rag on there. Why not? And I could use rags to like seal stuff up, but the steam will get all over the place. Let's encapsulate the steam into there. That one seems to be kind of tricky. There. And that's it. Now it's just wait. Oh, 8:30. I usually use my phone as a timer, but at 10:02, after 20 minutes, I will start tightening down those clamps. And then as it progresses to 1/2 an hour, using my gloves because those clamps will be hot, cinch it down there. And sometimes I'll take if I'm just doing, I've got enough water in here to boil for all 3, to steam all 3. If I was just doing the center or whatever, lay it on the ground and then pour that steamy hot water over it, over cracks in the cement, because hot water kills plants that grow in the cement cracks. But yeah, that's about it. Now, in the past, I have claimed that I hate robots, AI and stuff like that, but I have discovered, Google, the searches, if you go to AI mode, if you ask the right questions, you can get actually a lot of information. I talked about this yesterday, but let's expand on that. I was talking, questioning, whatever you want to say, with the robots on the Google AI, right? And we were, that's sinister, diabolical. But I'll just say we were discussing gull wing bows. And I had to correct it. It can make course correction. At first, it kind of confused deflex with reflex. But I corrected it. I said, your response was backwards, where you said, and it agreed. It's not alive, but still it's a very useful Google type of search. And then I asked asked the question, can you combine elements of engineering, material design, and mathematics in your answer? And I think it clicks something, because in the Googles, it doesn't remember stuff over days. You close the conversation, it starts over again, right? But I have developed this search function on this, saying, okay, robot, include engineering, materials, and mathematics in your answer to my questions. And it was basically, okay, I can do that. It's a very polite piece of equipment. And we started down this rabbit hole of the differences between combining the math, engineering, and materials. You know, the differences between the engineering of gull-wing bows, setback handle and then the deflex lens, over just having a straight bow. And Mr. Robot, don't want to misgender a robot, did that, and I had a chain of very logical, very scientific responses to my answers. Does it change things when you gull-wing a bow over just having a straight bow? Very satisfying. I'm not going to get into that. It would be a super long video. Then I got into a discussion with this robot over tillering, optimal tillering, and it was quite heady, because you take a bow, it's tapered as you're looking at the face, and also the thickness. And how can I best tiller a bow? What would the bend profile be? You know, as far as, would it be circular? Would it be parabolic? Would it be a section of an ellipse, which kind of is within, you know, plus or minus a parabolic kind of a shape, but it is different. To best uniformly stress that limb. And, you know, when I kicked this thing off talking about mathematics, engineering, and materials science, you know, that Google search using the AI mode was pretty, let's say, it was fabulous. Fabulous, you know, and well worth the time and effort it took to manipulate the AI search function in Google to give me very sophisticated, very universitile level answers. You know, you can always go back. You make a bow. How did I stress the limbs? You look at the string follow. Oh, it's a little bit more here than it is here. And you can tell that I overstressed at this point. And then you can analyze, well, what's going on here that's not going on here? You know, you can actually use in your prototype, if you're a board bow maker or even, you know, stave bow maker, you can analyze if you concentrated on a specific design and you can measure stuff accurately. How can I change that to then shift it, that the forces are concentrated here, to getting it throughout the entire limb? You know, I tillered this bow. This is going to be heavy. This is going to be a heavy little 48-inch hickory bow, because the hickory can stand it more than red oak. And I fully tillered this thing, so bend throughout, even slightly in the handle, and I'll guard against pulling out the reflex in the handle by adding sinew layers. There's going to be more sinew in the handle to support it. But I graded it so the bend increases as I go out. A smooth, kind of elliptical tiller. Circular is pretty, but it's not optimal. Elliptical is a little better. For one reason, balances the forces better, and it also, think about this, if you're going to get string follow in a bow, where's the best place to get it? And it's outboard, towards the tips, because it affects the brace height less. You know, let's just say the distance from the string to the handle. What else can I gobbledygook about? This hickory horse bow, as I say, is unclaimed. This is a spec bow, a speculative bow. So it will be steam bent, and I will fire harden the handle section while it's still in the form. When I fire harden the handle section, then I will take the form off, and then I can fire harden the limbs, which there's less bend in them, so it's less critical. And I can always just, because it's a longer section to curve, I can hold it over the fire so I don't lose the bend. But, you know, like I say, and I think I'm right, that when you fire harden the belly, it kind of shrinks it a little bit, and will bring it into a deflex. So when you're deflexing the limbs out of a form after you steam shape them. It's nothing but a thing. Now, I shall draw this to a close. I did this under 10 minutes. It's a short video. I'll do a short, which my shorts garner more interest, you know, than the longer videos. I'll do a short showing it completely trussed up with all three. Isn't it exciting?